I just watched. I just finished watching Darling in the Franxx with like a friend, and I've noticed like a few imagery in it, and I was like, like my friend and me, we were like making comments, making observation on each episode. Uh, so if you notice all of like the klaxosaurs, klaxosaurs means screaming reptile. It was explained. So Conrad class, Gutenberg class, and Moho class. Those were like the class of the klaxosaurs. So Gutenberg, it refers to, well, in my knowing, it refers to the guy who made the first like metal typewriter and the first book printed, which was the Bible. And there's an allegory of like the Bible. The klaxosaurs could be seen as angels coming to judge humanity. Because like if you notice like in the earlier episodes, if you didn't know, the Earth needs magma to, because magma fuels like the Earth's life. If you drain all of the magma from Earth, the Earth would functionally be dead, and the nutrients wouldn't from the soil would drain. You use it all up, and I'm pretty sure there would be a lot of other devastating effects. So the plantations, they move draining oil, using it as fuel. And the magma is also used as, so we learn like in the later episodes, the magma energy is also used to fuel human immortality. They use like the magma to make humans immortal. And God made humans mortal, right? So it could be like an act of defiance against God and draining the Earth's life force. And the klaxosaurs, the Gutenberg class, is coming to judge humanity. So you can see the klaxosaurs, the first Gutenberg class is like this weird odd shape, which incomprehensible shape, which angels are described as. You can see it morph. And the Moho class, I'm looking this up. Moho meaning the boundary layer between the Earth's crust and mantle, whose depth varies from about 3 miles, 5 kilometers beneath the ocean floor, to 25 miles. Moho is a common abbreviation for the Mohivic discontinuity, the boundary layer separating the Earth's crust from the underlying mantle. And you'll notice all the Moho class klaxosaurs are a bit kind of small. And we have the Conrad class, which means brave in a way. I'm kind of like, there's like a lot of flower imagery too. Oh, super layman. So layman. I forgot about layman. Layman meaning an origin. Okay, I should. The name layman, I looked this up before, but I kind of forgot about it. I want to go on the top of my head. the name layman has German and Jewish Ashkenazi origin, which meanings varying by context. Derived from the Middle High German word layman, it originally meant tenant, vassal, or feudal tenant, someone who held land in exchange for service or rent. I guess it could mean like servant of God, a vassal of God. So you could see like the layman class, Clactosaurs are very big. I think there was only like one layman class, so. But we find out later that, because there's a lot of like fuckery going on with the plot, like the allegories and the allusions to different things could have like several meanings, because we later find out the Claxosaurs, the princess, the Clactosapien, the princess is the only Clactosapien left, and all the Claxosaurs are basically mechas piloted by the Claxosapiens that merged together. And the magma energy were Claxosapiens evolving to become energy. And we find out the Claxosaur princess has lived for like 65 million years. And they are like the defenders of Earth, right? But it doesn't mean they're necessarily angels sent by God. I guess it could be a representation of that. My thoughts are deep and complicated, but you'll also know the parasites and ape. So ape, if you didn't notice, all of their masks were ape masks, and like all the adults, like most of the adults were transferred into the hive mind Virum. And I guess it represents the final evolution of humanity, becoming a hive mind. Because there's a book by Isaac Asimov where humanity has an AI, and the AI integrates itself into the world itself, like just in space. And you see, we follow humanity as they progress, and you see their lifespan getting longer and longer until they became immortal. They became a spacefaring race, seeding multiple planets. And they achieved immortality, and they seeded a lot of the planets, and they couldn't find an answer. It's been a while since I'm basically a LARPer. I've only watched a video breaking down the book, but they leave their bodies behind, and they mingle in this ethereal form, and then they merge together. They become the hive mind. There might be more like Isaac Asimov's references, but I think Virum, like the hive mind, the apes, which are humanity evolving through the ages, evolving into hive mind, and that represents something bad. That's why Virum is like the villains, and we have 02 and Hero. They want to be as one, which means like they want to connect with each other, through love, like when you truly love someone and you connect with them. They fight against the Virum, and that represents like fighting against like a hive mind, because like if we evolve into a hive mind, we wouldn't have love at all. We would just be one entity, because like from the Virum's standpoint, they want to well, they did subvert humanity. They controlled humanity, and they wanted to cultivate humanity and integrate them into the hive mind. And you see, because like the Klaxus were guarding this sphere that were made out of like Klaxosaur. So they overtook the trench. They were using the humans to overtake the trench to retrieve that lands full of like Klaxosaurs, to integrate it into their hive mind. That's why they didn't like kill all of humanity. They, in their mind, well, in my point of view, Virum just wanted to help everyone in their own twisted way by integrating every life form into their hive mind. It's sinister in a way, but they said there would be no more wars, no more discrimination, and all that. It's very interesting, in my opinion. But like the Klaxosaurs did fight off Virum, and they lost so much, so they went into like hibernation deep down the earth, and they waited, and then humanity has like inherit the earth. You see like the final battle, 02 and Hero die to give like the future. There's just so much I can talk about. I can go on for hours and hours about like Darling in the Franxx. I'm just very passionate about like anime and manga, more than I ever have. So getting onto like, there's a lot of flower imagery too, and I guess they tried to set up a lot of things too, because you can see code 666 meeting like one of the adults, and him saying, wow, you feel so familiar. I guess they were trying to set up a plot where code 666 like some like having parents, and it didn't really, that was gonna be his parent, but I guess like they scrapped that idea. Also, if you notice on Hero, when he piloted 02 at first, he had this blue infection through him, and you notice later it's a scar, it's a star scar, and that could represent the stamen. Because if you didn't know, all like the mechas of Squad 13, they're named after flowers. I don't know about Sterlixia, but it could represent, because like the star thing representing not the stamen, the pistil. The males represent the stamen, which you can see it on their uniform. It's the red thing in the middle. And the females have the star, which represents the pistil. And that could represent like a flower blooming in Hero and his connection starting. And you'll also know 02 doesn't wear the traditional outfit, cause and neither does like Squad Alpha. The Alpha Squad, you see, cause they're outside, they can't reproduce cause we later find out that they're clones, and 02 is also a clone, and on her uniform it shows that she can't like reproduce, and that's why everyone else has like the stamen and pistol red symbol. Meanwhile, 02 doesn't. There's also the name of like a constellation brought up, and I'm pretty sure it was Orion. Okay, wait. Orion primarily refers to a prominent constellation located on the celestial. In Greek mythology, Orion was a giant hunter, often depicted as son of Poseidon. And Mesopotamian, translating to light of heaven. I know in so a giant hunter, I think it was mentioned in a beach episode. I'm just going off of this on the top of my head. Maybe I'll make like a structured video about it, but I just like really wanted to geek out about it for a moment. So Orion was mentioned in, I forgot what episode, but giant hunter, so they're hunting giants in a way. Because if you didn't know, the Klaxosaurs are like black and blue, kind of like frost giants in a way. So the mechs are like the giant hunters. I forgot what it was, but it's like a double meaning. There's a double meaning. I need to do like a better video on this, but it would be pretty long. So it could also mean light of heaven, a Mesopotamian origin, translating to light of heaven. Also, you notice in one of the episode, I forget their names. The girl who had the baby, she found like one of like the squad mates, like the past parasite squad that was there. She found a picture of him, and you can see like a dead flower, and you can see it zoom in on the red symbol on their uniforms. And it was alluding to, because she didn't have sex and have the baby yet. Because like in this world, the children were all like created from a lab, and they weren't taught to like reproduce. Because like only people who could like reproduce could pilot the Franxx. And like there's just like so many dynamics in this anime that it's 19 minutes so far. I made a video, like a fully comprehensive video on it. It would have to be like at least 30 minutes. But there's just so much allegories to it. Like I turn my brain off when I watch anime, but Darling in the Franxx, like piloting the mecha, it was just so ridiculous that I'm like, there has to be a deeper meaning behind this, then haha, it it looks like sex. But yeah, that's it. Peace. Maybe I'll like put a visual on this or not. Maybe.